So welcome back then to another up close video, and this time round we're going to be taking a look at the first of many new products coming from Wychwood for 2022. So in this video we are going to be taking a look at the new Wychwood multi-tool and spares. So we've all been there, we've got our tackle boxes or our tackle pouches absolutely crammed full of various different needles and drills and all that business, taking up masses of space in our tackle boxes, and this is where Wychwood have come up with the answer. All the essential baiting tools that most, if not all, anglers should need in one little sort of compact little unit there that is a must-have for everybody's tackle box. So the multi-tool is very easy to use, will save an absolute massive space in your tackle box, and also it's very easy to customize if you choose to. So let's get stuck in then to how it actually works. The multi-tool then, as you can see, is black in color, has 4 different needle types, 1, 2, 3 and 4, a puller at one end and a stripper at the other. And if you see on the reverse, the 4 needles also, once folded back inside the sort of casing of the multi-tool itself, are all away, packed away from any harm of being bent or damaged when you know, you're putting them in and out your tackle boxes, in and out your tackle pouches, etc. They are just tucked away inside where they're not going to come to any harm. Now the actual casing of the multi-tool unit itself is quite thick plastic, as you can see from the sort of edges and the sort of rims of the casing there. It's not thin, it's not flimsy by any means. It's got a sort of set of screw ends at either end on either side, which will allow you to remove and customize the needles that run through. There's like a metal rod, I don't know if you can see that there, in which the needles pass through the rod, and obviously you secure it in place by fastening and tightening the ends. Like I say, that is customizable if you prefer to use more of one needle than the other, but as you can see, this one here does have all 4 options currently mounted into it. So I've brought some props with me for the next part. So what I want to do is basically talk you through each individual sort of element that make up the 6-in-1 different uses for the actual multi-tool itself. So these are actually like I say, mounted inside, and you just simply use the grip of the end there to just twist them out like so. So you just use the grip on the end of the needle itself. It allows you to sort of, there's enough room in there to get your finger in and just push it through with your thumb the other side. So to start with then, I am going to talk you through the heavy latch needle. The heavy latch needle, easily identifiable by the orange colour, got a nice thick wire of the actual needle itself, nice big hook on the end, nice big latch, as it says in its name really, the heavy version, you know, the bigger version, the sturdier version. Now I'd use this one and have been using this one for sort of mounting boilies or even PVA bags. So goes through nice and easily through a boilie. This is just a shelf life boilie. This is where the heavy latch needle will allow you to get this mounted on, whether you're pulling it sort of through your rig, then this is ideal for that. So you'd just push the PVA bag through like so, attach your rig, pop the latch over, slide the PVA bag down your rig, just masking the hook inside. The fine latch needle, easily identified by the blue colour, and as you can see, much thinner gauge or wide gauge on this one. And if I just get the heavy one out, you'll see a lot thinner inside, slightly shorter as well. So this is for your more sort of delicate work, so things like splicing leaders, splicing lead core, that sort of thing. This will allow you to get that through the lead core and slipping it back out. There's nothing worse than trying to use too big of a tool when splicing, because it's just an absolute nightmare trying to pull it back through on itself to generate that nice tight loop. So that is absolutely perfect, where it just drops down there. As you can see, it just drops down into a lot thinner sort of wire gauge there nearer the end, which will allow you, like I say, to pass that through you know, any sort of leader material with ease. Not only that, I do like using this end because, as you know, I like to use a lot of solid bags which then incorporate a lot smaller sized hook baits. So I've got a little sort of 8x13mm wafter there that I like to use inside my solid bags, and this little fine latch needle is perfect for just pushing through these soft little wafters like so, and then mounting them onto my small little solid bag rigs. So really good couple of uses there, and invaluable if you're wanting to just use those little smaller hook baits without splitting them by the time that you mount them onto your rig. Next up then, we are going to take a look at the boilie needle, identifiable by the yellow topper. Now as you can see, that is a very sharp and pointy needle. It has got a little sort of hook end there that will allow you to obviously pull your rig and the bait through down onto your hair, but this one with obviously the sharp point on the end will help you penetrate the hard, tough boilies. So if you use like any sort of tough baits for, you know, crayfish or nuisance fish or anything like that, now this is a tough one. This is, you know, rock hard. There's absolutely no way that I could probably force one of the gate latch needles through it, but with just the sharp sheer point of the boilie needle, it goes through without stabbing myself with absolute ease. So it really does make light work of what will be a tough and durable bait. And then, like I say, the little hook on the end will allow you just to slide that back down, mount it onto your rig. Another use then for the boilie needle, very similarly to the fine latch needle, if you wanted to, and you wanted to use it for those smaller hook baits like I've already mentioned, this one will also go through with a matter of ease into those smaller hook baits again without splitting it, because they are a lot more softer, they are a lot more smaller, and obviously a lot more delicate. So if you wanted to use the boilie needle, then you do have the option of using that just for those smaller hook baits to eliminate any splitting. Next up, and the last of the 4 needles in the multi-tool, identifiable by the green top, and that is the boilie drill. Now that is 1.5mm in width, so you've got 1.5mm drill bit there, and this will allow you to sort of drill through and core out even the most rock hard of baits. So whether, like I say, you're fishing sort of crayfish infested waters, or you're just wanting something to keep the small fish at bay, then this 1.5mm boilie drill will allow you to get through the core of the bait, and then be able to allow you to put one of the needles back through and mount it onto your rig. You can just use the actual tool to sort of put pressure on the drill, and like I say, it goes through with such ease, and you can just pull it back through, twisting it as you go, just to really sort of create that tunnel through the bait to allow you to get the needle through. Then it's just a case of, like I say, popping one of the needles through it, hooking on your fine latch needle, hooking on your rig, sliding the boilie down or the hook bait down onto your rig, and it's just a case of sticking on a hair stop. At one end of the multi-tool, as I said at the start, you have a stripper end. Now what this will do is allow you to strip off the desired amount of coating from any sort of coated braid. So if you are an absolute bugger like myself, who constantly is biting his nails, and yeah, there's absolutely nothing on there that's going to help with sort of teasing the coating off the braid, then yeah, this little stripper tool is an absolute godsend. So here you ask again, how does the actual stripper part of the tool work? Then you need to grab your coated braid that you're ready to make your rigs with. I just prefer to move the two needles just sort of up and out of the way, just to allow me to get the braid through the back with ease. So it's just a case of taking your braid, pulling off a section of however much you want to strip the coating from, sticking it through the hole at the front there, taking the braid like so and just dropping it into the recess of the actual stripper itself. So you're going sort of back round to the front of the tool, and then with a little bit of pressure just pulling down on the braid as it pulls its way through the stripper. And I don't know if you can see there, but it then starts to remove the coating from the actual braid itself, and you are left with a section of braid that has no coating remained on it, and it will just bunch up until you get to the end of the braid and it just comes off. So essentially, like I say, if I bite my nails, I ain't getting this braid off, and if I'm running it through my teeth, there's also a chance that I could damage the internal braid as well. So this stripper is at just the right width. The two little sort of razors sort of there in the middle are just at the right width that will take the coating off but not actually damage the internal braid as well. So the last feature in the 6-in-1 multi-tool is the puller. So as you can see there's a slight sort of little notch of sort of plastic there in the middle, and on the other side it is slightly lipped, as you can see. And what that will allow you to do is loop over any sort of loops in your rig, so whether that be you know, the smaller loops of hair rigs or the larger loops as you're just starting to finish off, you know, just trying to finish off your rig ready to be attached to your rod. That will allow you to essentially drop that over the puller, pull them down nice and tight, ensuring that nothing's going to slip. So then for demonstration purposes, I've tied a small loop there that I could quite easily be using as a hair for a boilie or a pop-up, for example. I will just run it over the little hook like so. As you can see, it's over the hook. It's not slipping from that side because that slightly little notched sort of area on that bit of plastic there isn't going to slip straight off when I try to pull it down tight. So it's over the puller, and it's just a case of using one to pull against the other. So use the force on my finger and thumb from one side, use the force of pulling against the puller, and that has then just bedded down the knot nicely. Just a case of then just tightening off the tag end, trimming that up, mounting a bait, and off you go. Whether you've accidentally broken one of your needles or whether you just use one needle more over the other, then all four are replaceable. And yeah, you can customize a multi-tool to however you want setup wise in regards to the needles. So then the last piece of information I should really share with you is the pricing for the multi-tool itself, and obviously the replacements. So the multi-tool, as you see there, with all four needles already mounted, etc., this is what you will get if you purchase this from obviously your local retailer. That will be $11.99 RRP. So you will get the four needles, obviously the stripper and the puller, and it comes with, like I say, one of each already mounted within the tool. And then the separates, they are going to be £2.69 RRP. So you will be able to get, like I say, separately as replacements or spares, or you know, just to customize the tool itself, all four colors on the shelves at £2.69 RRP. So I suggest you probably have a good clear out in your tackle boxes or tackle pouches, and yeah, go and grab one tool which will do 6 of those jobs.